How does a force know whether to be centrifugal or centripetal? I know rotational forces can either go away or move towards the center, but what dictates it to go where? Centrifugal force isn't really a thing. When you accelerate forward, you feel like you're being pushed backwards. When you turn left in a car, you feel like you're being thrown to the right. When you accelerate inward due to centripetal force, you feel like you're being thrown outward. The latter, for some reason, is the one that gets its force direction confused. It's not a force directed outwards, that's just inertia. These forces exist in different frames of reference. They don't exist together in the same frame. Centripetal force is whatever makes stuff run in circles. According to first Newton law, if no force acts on a thing, then it is either at rest or is moving in a straight line. So if something moves in circles, there must be some force acting on it. This force can be gravity, electromagnetism, elasticity of a string, friction, or whatever causes the path of the object to curve. There are also the so-called fictitious forces. If you are in a car that accelerates, then you feel a force that pushes you against your seat. If the car brakes, you feel the force that pushes you forward. But these forces are only observed in the frame of reference of the car. If you look from outside, it just looks like you either try to stay at rest, but the car pushes you, or you try to continue to move forward, but the car stops you. Centrifugal force is one of the fictitious forces. When the car takes a sharp turn, then you feel a force that tries to push you outside the curve. But from the outside it looks like your body is trying to move in a straight line, but the car is grabbing you along the curve. A centripetal force is a force that keeps something moving in a circle, like gravity, or the tension in a string when you're swinging an object around. A centrifugal force is what you think is happening when you're in something that's rotating, but you're not rotating with it. It feels like it's pushing you to the outside because you want to move in straight lines on a floor that you don't know is spinning. Centripetal forces are real. When you observe the motion from outside the rotating frame, the driving force is centripetal, inwards, to make the body go in circles. Centrifugal force is a pseudo-force. When you observe the motion from the rotating frame itself, the forces now act radially outwards. When your car goes to the left, you are pushed rightward. In order for an object to move in a circular path, there must be a force on the object that is directed towards the center, otherwise, as per Newton's first law, the object would move in a straight line. Centripetal force is not a type of force, it indicates a direction. Centripetal mean towards the center. Many different kinds of forces might act as the centripetal force. For example, when a car turns round a corner, the friction in the tires provides the centripetal force. When a satellite is in orbit around the Earth, gravity provides the centripetal force. If you swing a weight around on a string, the tension in the string is the centripetal force. Centrifugal force is what is called a fictitious force. It's not a real physical force, but a mathematical trick. When you transform Newton's laws into a rotating frame of reference, you get two additional terms, which look like forces, but aren't actually. These are termed the centrifugal force and the Coriolis force. These forces only exist in a rotating frame of reference and they are not real forces, but they can be treated as such for the purpose of solving problems. Such a coordinate transformation often makes problems involving rotation easier to solve. All-weather forecasting models, for example, use a coordinate system that rotates with the Earth and thus must incorporate these inertial forces into their governing equations.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss our next exciting video.